How's everyone? Can you guys hear me okay? I haven't done this in so long that I don't even know if everything's working. Can you guys see me okay? Hear me okay? Everything working? Hi everyone. Nice to see familiar faces. Hello. Cool. So, we're back. Hopefully for a very long time. We've had a nice break, a nice Christmas break, New Year's. Hopefully, you all had a great start of the year. For me, it's been intense because the project that I'm working on is wrapping up. So that's why I was like, yeah, I can't do everything. I need my afternoons to not have to think. But now it's wrapping up, so it's a little bit more relaxed. So cool. If I don't know if I can even make this louder. If you guys can't hear me like loud enough, just let me know and I don't know, raise my voice. Um, so yeah, we have a few links to go over if anyone wants me to review their work. Feel free to post it here or on Discord. I prefer it on here just because I might lose track of what's on Discord. And it's not a jacket. It's this thing called the Udi, which is like a huge big thing that is super warm and it's basically like 4 times your size and it's all like plush on the inside. And yes, it's a Harry Potter one. And I saw it at Primark a few days ago. I went to Primark thinking, oh, I'll just buy what I need. Never happens. Never happens. Hey Fatima. And I saw this and I'm like, oh, it's still winter. I like this. And it even has, I can't show it properly because I can't put it on, but it has like the wizard hat. So yeah, I love it. Yeah, I think it's called, let me just check because I think the original brand is called the Udi. Yeah, it's this one. But I just bought it at Primark because I didn't want to wait for the shipping. I almost bought it there, but then I saw it. I was like, oh, I want it now. So yes, I regret nothing because today either it's really cold or I'm dying and I feel very cold. Either or. Oh, also, if anyone has any questions about animation, life, anything, feel free. I know they are huge. Like this one is like even like super big this way. I also bought a large, but even like oh, it's like the best. It's like an oversized dress with pockets, which for anyone here um who identifies as female or non-binary knows pockets are hard to come by. So I'm very happy about this, and it's so soft. I love it. The only drawback is that it should be blue because I'm a Ravenclaw. I'm not a Gryffindor, but fine. I'll take it. So yeah, let me share my screen and start giving feedback again. If anyone wants anything reviewed, just drop it on the chat or any questions that you guys have. I might animate afterwards if I can find where I have my files, but I haven't been able to find it yet. So yes, I thought I was a Hufflepuff. I'll share my screen in a second because this is obviously important information. I thought I was a Hufflepuff, and then I went on Pottermore when it was basically released because I'm that big of a fan, and it said that I was a Ravenclaw, and I'm like, no, 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 no. And then like 10 years later or 6 years later, I don't know time anymore. I went there again, and I'm again a Ravenclaw. And then I saw this essay on YouTube on each house. And I agree, I am a Ravenclaw. Because Ravenclaw is not just about like, ooh, I'm so smart and I study and blah blah blah. That's not Ravenclaw. It's like having like a thirst for knowledge and like creative solutions to things, and I was like, okay, that makes more sense because I'm not smart, but I like learning. So I was like, okay, that's okay. It's good to be a Gryffindor. I have a friend who thought he was a Ravenclaw and he ended up being a Gryffindor. So I gave him my Gryffindor scarf and he's super happy. My best friend is a Slytherin. She she just owns it. And I'm like, you go girl. So let's check this out. I haven't seen anything yet because I was having dinner before this so that I'm not hungry throughout all of this. Because you know me, I might get super hungry. So let's look at this. Cool. Why does he look like Jello? I'm very into this look. It's super weird, but I like it. Cool. I think it's going in the right way. Let me just double check what was it that you said. Okay, yeah, it's. I'm not sure what stage you're in. If you are just splining, or this is part of your blogging and you blog in splines. You're here, right? I think I saw you here. Sorry, my brain is clearly not super awake. Is this character going to have arms? It's a very important question because that will depend on the feedback. He won't have hands. Okay. Well, I think it's working. I think because he doesn't have arms, basically like it makes sense. Okay, yeah, it makes sense that he goes so far back down. Yeah. I think in terms of the spine overlap and settle, that is working well. The only thing that I would say to keep working on this and polishing it is even though that's what you wanted to work on, it's nice to make sure that everything else also works. And I'm thinking for the hips, right now it feels like they just ease here and then they come back. And it kind of feels like they ease into a position and then they come back. And what I would like to see potentially is that maybe in this frame they go a little bit higher so the arc is a little bit bigger. And I would maybe remove from 45 to like 50. I would basically remove 5 frames out of this so that it comes into this and then it settles. And when it settles, maybe I wouldn't even move it that much. Maybe I would just move it up to frame 52 in terms of the amount. Basically, what you have, I would move frame 52 onto frame 57. That way, you're going to have like a softer settle, and it's going to be just a tiny slight overshoot and then back to where you need it. And potentially, even if you want to go more into the realistic side, then this last few frames, there would be like a tiny movement forward. Sorry if you guys hear the police car. Hasn't been that usual, but for some reason today there's a police car there. And then for the spine, I think you can also keep it coming a little bit further back for a few more frames up till here. Again, so there's a little bit of overshoot because usually with the body, this is what I've noticed is that it's very hard for us to just ease into a position. We always overshoot a little bit. Even if I'm just doing a very soft motion, it would have to be incredibly controlled for me to just ease into that. And so I feel like you can have like a little bit more of an overshoot in the back. It's just a few pixels. I think it would be really nice. Yeah. Oh god, no. I'm splining 2 shots at work and it's the most painful thing ever. I hate splining. It's like the worst thing in my life. And then I think I would reduce how far up the head goes. Maybe frame 45. This would be the max rotation up, because I think it's a little bit too much. That's why also with the color, it doesn't help with the jello feeling, like he's made out of jelly. And then if you look at frames 50 to this, everything is moving at the same time. See how everything is moving. And something that is nice to do when you're doing this type of overlap assignments, it's either building in the overlap or you can offset frames, whichever works best. Like up till here, I think it was working. But then this one's everything moves at the same time. Already taking frames out of the hips and reducing the amount of movement is going to help with that. But also, what I would do is basically delay the head so that maybe delay it by 2 frames from the chest movement. Ideally, you would delay, basically, this would be maybe plus 1 or 2 frames from the hips, and then this one would be another 1 or 2 frames from the chest, so that again, there's a little bit of difference in how each body part is moving. You can just offset or you can build it in. Sometimes for things like this, when it's just a slight polish, I would just offset my curves. If I'm doing this in blocking, I will build it in. But for example, one of the polish things that I like to do that one of my mentors taught me is copying the TY on the hips, pasting it into the chest TY and offsetting by 1 frame, then copying that into the neck TY, offsetting by 1 frame, and then copying into the head TY, offsetting by 1 frame, and then reducing the amplitude of the curves. And what that gives you is a slight like squishiness to the character, very very slight, where it's like it feels like the character is more alive. It's like flesh, kind of like a fleshiness pass. And this would be kind of the same thing. You can just offset the curves. So yeah, do you have any questions? I hope that helped. It's been so long since I gave feedback. Well, not really. I mean, I'm giving feedback at work because I'm a lead now, but it's not the same. Here it's more fun. Haha, no. I animate in FK. I use FK spine unless I really need IK. Like maybe there's the character is falling, and because I want to treat each body part as a bouncing ball, I would use IK there. I know people who animate with IK spines all the time. I personally don't like them. I feel like FK spine, it feels way more natural to what the body does. For the TY copying of the curves, I would either do it on FK or IK, whichever has the capability. Like if FK has the capabilities of TY, I'll just do it there. If it doesn't, I'll do it in IK. And I always do that in a layer. I never do it on my main animation. Oh my god, that's so exciting! Yeah, for sure. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been interesting. I wanted to like my life plan was to be a lead in like 5 years, and suddenly they were like, "Do you want to be a lead? Oh, the other leads recommended you." And I'm like, "Why? Thank you." And I'm like, "Okay." The only thing is that depending on the studio, like in our studio, leading takes up a lot of your time, so I don't get to animate as much. Now I'm animating more because a lot of people have left because the show is wrapping up. So I have shots again, and I'm like, yay, animating. But it's been a fun experience. It's been interesting. It's a learning curve, but it's an interesting one. I personally I wouldn't want to be a lead in the future for at least many years, just because I want to get better at animating first and then be a lead. I feel like this was way too soon. It's been interesting, but way too soon. So tips for your first interview. That's so awesome. Yeah, I know. I don't have a goal anymore. I don't have plans for my life. So let me just switch here and then I'll go to the other review just so that I don't forget because I know myself. So this is useful for everyone. Tips for your first animation interview. First, research the studio that you're applying for. Even if you already know it, it's good to know who works there, what movies, TV shows, advertisement, games, whatever it is that they do. What are the projects that they've done in the past and that they are working on right now? If you manage to find out what style they are usually looking after. Think about what is like your favorite things from that studio in terms of the projects and the things that you don't like that you think that could have been better, because I know that I think it's DreamWorks that ask you like, what do you think we could have done better in one of our movies, something like that. Can't remember exactly the site. Whoa. So get ready for stuff like that. I personally have been asked about my show, my reel. Basically, sometimes they ask you about each shot in your reel, and they ask you either about how you came about this shot, how you thought about the acting choices, why did you make certain acting choices. So kind of remember what you did in your reel, just have it fresh in your brain. uh what else did they ask? Well, it's good also to ask what's the quota, so how much you're going to be animating per week. That's very useful to know. You can also ask, if you're not interviewing with a supervisor, who's the supervisor, who are the leads. That's always good to know, the directors. Let me just check because I have like a list of questions that I usually ask in interviews. um One that is like really cool that one of my friends uh, said that he asked is asking them what made them choose the studio and what made them stay. So that's a really good one. You can also ask what's the size of the team and what's the team like. That's mainly because if it's like 40 animators, it's like, oh, okay, so that's like a decent size, like relatively fast paced, but not so much. If it's 200, then you already know how, like, you're probably not going to get chances to work on a lot of shots just because of the size of the team. If it's 5 people, then you know you're probably going to do other things aside from animating because it's a very small studio. The length of the project, how long the project basically is going to run for, if there are chances of staying afterwards, if there are any other future projects that they're working on that they think you could be moved into after. What's the review process like? So, for example, you can ask, when you ask about the review process, basically what you're trying to find out is, do they have, like, do you have to show to your lead, to your supervisor, and then to the director? Do you only show your lead and then to the director? How do they handle retakes? Overtime, is overtime paid? Is it not? If you're going to relocate, do they have a relocation package? All of that is very cool, awesome. Um, if it's at a game studio, make sure you play the games before you go, because you'll have a way better chance. Gaming studios are very particular about who they want to hire. Um, they tend to favor people who are gamers and they like. I mean, not all the time, but if you like the studio, you like the games, and you know them already, you're already gonna know the style, the story. So make sure you play, even if they are mobile games. Worth doing it. Like, I remember when my first ever job was as a QA in a game studio, mobile game studio, and one of the questions that they had asked me was, "Did you ever find a bug in a game?" And I had, and I was like, "Whoa, I did!" Because I already knew what the job was about, finding bugs. But I had actually. I was like, "Yeah, this time I was playing this game and blah blah blah," and so that helped because they are like, "Oh, okay, you know the industry, you know how it works." So that always helps. I think that's pretty much it. Always be on time, be nice, dress accordingly, like even if it's on Zoom, like dress well, make sure your background doesn't have any weird things, that no one is going to bother you, or that you're not going to have loud people talking next to you. Yeah, exactly. Oh, cool. Nice. So, oh, is it Riot then? Riot Games? I've heard that studio is super nice to work for. I know people who are working at Riot and they're really liking it. So, that'd be super cool. So, it helps to know the game. It's like, oh yeah, I know how the attacks work and all of that. Yeah. Trying to think if there's anything else. I don't know. I like usually when I've been in interviews, I just try to be very casual about it. Um, because that's the environment that I want to work on. So that's how I do it, but always in a respectful way, in a polite way, like don't swear, don't like basic job interview skills that apply to any job, but there's repeating. So yeah, good luck. That'd be super cool. Let me know how it goes because that's very exciting. Um. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. What's your favorite shot? Yeah. Oh, I think I had it somewhere. I don't know. I mean, it depends also what your reel is like. If it's mostly student work, they're gonna ask you a lot of questions about that. That's good. Yeah, yeah. If you know it, it definitely helps. If you know any coding, that also helps. Like cash casually drop it in. Like if you happen to know any coding, just be like, oh yeah, blah. Casually mention it. That's what I used to do in some jobs. Is like, especially with animation, when I first started, I had a lot of experience in other industries, but not enough in animation. So I would use the things that I've learned in other places and apply them to animation. Like I've already been a team leader. So it's like, oh yeah, like I used to manage a small group of people. Like build yourself up with the things that you know. Like don't lie. I mean, you can exaggerate if you want a little bit, but I think be confident and use everything that you have to your advantage. But good luck. That's really cool. And let me share again. I think this one, let me just double check, is from Nicolas. I'm not sure if you're here. Okay, cool. Hang on. Does the weight feel right on the hip and the chest? Yeah, it felt right. Yeah. I think the weight felt right on that one. So I think just keep going. Cool. So anything I should know on this? Let me see if you had written anything else. No. So uh any specific type of feedback? Just general notes? What stage are you in? Anything I should know? Or anything that you're still working on? Okay, cool. Okay, let's play it. Am I okay.
When I cut her, she screamed.
Okay, this is very low. Hang on, because I can't hear it.
When I cut her, she screamed. But she scared me. What did she expect?
Cool.
When I cut her, she screamed.
Is this motion, is he just like opening and closing the zipper?
When I cut her, she screamed. But she scared me. What did she expect?
Okay.
When I cut her, she screamed. But she scared me. What did she expect?
Okay, cool. So I think it's it's going in the right direction.
When I cut,
I think we can adjust a few things. And again, this will be just suggestions. Take them or leave them. At the end of the day, this is your shot. So this is just me suggesting things. But
when I cut her,
here, again, I don't know if this for a class, because if you have a mentor and they told you something different, follow what they are saying. Don't follow what I'm saying. If it is personal shot, then I can say whatever I want.
when I
but
cut her, she.
okay, cool.
When I cut her, she screamed.
So at the beginning, I feel like personally this motion is a little bit too distracting. And I kind of like this one better. The only problem with that one is that it's a little bit harder to read. So maybe you can do kind of something more like what you're doing in your original reference, just because right now it feels a little bit too big, like him doing this, and it's a little like it distracted me from the actual thing, and I wasn't feeling the thought process. So what I'm thinking is you could have the zipper. I wish I had a zipper now. And like you can reposition the hand so that instead of it being like this where you don't see what's happening, it's something more like this, and he's just playing with the zipper, like analyzing and slowly looking at it, because then it's also going to be a little bit more creepy or more inner dialogue than right now. This feels a little bit like he's distracted. But if he's doing this and he's looking at it, and again, I would, instead of position the hand like this, I would position it like this so that we see that he's playing with the zipper. I think that's going to help illustrate that he is thinking about that moment.
When I cut her, she screamed.
And potentially he could move it up and down a little bit, but it could be a way less big of a motion. Like it could be just this rather than this. Also be careful, it's going through the hand is going through the table.
When I cut her, she screamed. But she scared me. What did she expect? When I cut her, she screamed.
Also because I feel like he's kind of remembering that. And so less emotion. Usually when we're thinking about something very intently, we're not really moving that much. So that's why I think it will help to reduce that movement. And also, really nice detailed hand animation is always a plus. Like, it adds a lot to a shot and to a reel.
But
here I'm gonna ask you, because again, I'm not sure and I wanna make sure before I say anything. This look here,
but
like when he looks around, what is his what's his thought process? Like, why is he looking around? Because he already knows he's talking with someone and he's somewhere, and I'm a little bit confused as to why he's looking around. What was your idea behind it? And in the meantime, I'm going to try and find where I have my Maya files, because I don't know. And Maya decided to delete all my shortcuts. So that's fun. Okay, so this is where I would say I would challenge you to think about the acting a little bit deeper, in the sense of why are we doing certain things. Like, this is something that my mentors always were very intense, like not intense, but like trying to make sure that we always add the things that we need, and we don't add things just because we do it in a reference. Sometimes I do reference and I don't really block it out, all of it. I just block out what feels good because I'm not the best actress myself. So personally, the reason why I was asking, hi Shiri, is that right now this
But
it kind of felt like he didn't know where he was or what he was doing, and for me it kind of like confused me about the character and who he is. Why is he suddenly looking somewhere else? Because he seems to be talking with someone and actually saying something. And again, if your mentor gave you a different direction, what go with what they said, because I'm not your mentor. If it were me, my suggestion would be
but
I'm gonna give you potentially two suggestions. Let me just play it again.
when I cut her, she screamed. But
Let me just play it
but
again.
she scared me.
Maybe like again, it depends. Like if you want to go towards like a creepy side, it could be like he could be like, what does he say when I cut her?
When I cut her, she screamed.
He could be like, if you want him to be creepy, it could be that he's remembering in a fond way. He could be like, when I cut her, she screamed, and he smiles to himself. Or it could be,
When I cut her, she screamed.
or he could be like, when I cut her, she screamed, and looking at the person that they're talking with, like, she screamed. Like, I knew what I was doing. Like, there's two different ways. And again, you need to think about the thought process. What is basically each part, you need to think about what's the subtext of what they're actually saying. So here he's saying,
When I cut her, she screamed.
when I cut her, she screamed. But is he actually meaning that, or is he like, what is he actually saying? Is he actually saying, ah, that was a really fun night, or she had it coming, she had that coming, or is it, I'm actually very sad about what I did? Those are three completely different subtexts, which will give you three completely different acting choices. And that's what I feel like will help you a lot if you have that subtext really clear. You might have it already. It's just that in this part,
But
it's a little bit confusing just because of him looking around. So I would suggest thinking about from the subtext that you might already have, which acting choice will fit better in that. If you already have it and you want to type it in, feel free. If you want to think about it, that's cool.
but she scared me. What did? But she scared me. What did she expect? She scared me. What did she expect?
And for
But
this part, let me think.
she scared me. What did she expect? But she scared me. What did she expect?
I think for this end part,
She scared me. What did she expect?
kind
She
of
scared.
a little bit lost again in terms of
She
the
scared me.
subtext.
What did she expect?
But mainly it's, I think, because the eyes feel a little bit too locked in the same position, and so it feels like the emotion is the same one all around here. What emotion slash subtext is he in at by the end? Is he um
She scared me.
is he like joking, like chuckling, like ha, like it was a joke, or is it like menacing, as in like psychopath smile? What uh vibe were you going for? Okay,
But she scared me.
so
What did she expect?
Okay, so for creepily things like here,
She scared me.
like here I feel like you can push even the asymmetry of this a little bit more.
She scared me.
Because right now it feels a little bit flat in terms of the face, in terms of what's happening. You can push um this further up, like she scared me, like, and the eyelids maybe a little bit more down, kind of like saying like this, and maybe this type of face. Maybe the eyelids not like this, but less open. If it looks appealing, because I haven't used this character, or I don't know if this mod is available anywhere, so I'm not sure how appealing it might be. It's a character that I feel like might be hard to pose, so just see what you can achieve. But I would try to also pose the eyebrows a little bit more with it, and I get like a chuckle. And then by the end,
What did she expect?
I would even push the line of action a little bit more. And here you're tilting the head, but I think you're also coming forward a little bit too much. Maybe you can come forward by the end, but maybe here you're already in that rotation Z, so the head is already like this. That could be an option. But also in terms
What
of
did
the
she expect?
face, you could, like, when he says what do you expect, you can do like um an eyebrow raise, and where is it?
What did she expect? What did she expect?
Here when it says expect, you can the hair is definitely not helping you, but if you have a contrasting first pose like this one, you're gonna see the movement in the eyebrows.
What did she expect?
So the eyebrows can come up here, and you can even have like kind of like the creepy anime smile that looks very, very creepy, where it's like this and there's like a very pinched corner. That helps a lot with the creepiness level. That type of smile where this is very pushed looks always really cool.
What did she expect?
And then after that, what do you expect? He could like close his eyes a little, like squint a little bit. That could be also an option, just to break it up a little bit, because right now I feel like the face is the eyes particularly are just in one pose by the end, and they're not conveying exactly what you're trying to convey right now. So it's just playing a little bit more with it and the expressions.
When I cut her, she screamed. When I cut her, she screamed.
Yeah, kind of like that. Basically, any anime that has a villain has that smile.
When I cut her, she screamed.
And for example, here, he could also have a bit more like bored eyes. Something more like that, where the eyelids are, if he's more half lidded, that's also going to be more like nonchalant about this whole situation, if that's again what you're going for. And like lowering the eyebrows maybe a little bit.
When I cut her, she screamed. When I cut her, she screamed. But she scared me.
Yeah, I think those are the main notes. I want to see what else you do from here, because I think if you take those notes, they might change a few things, especially this part. And I don't know, again, everyone's blocking is different. I tend to do a very tight blocking in twos if I have the time, which sometimes is not possible, but
She scared me.
I like adding all the little details already, so that when I hit spline I cry less.
What did she expect?
Like when he says what did she expect, could be like a little bit of gesturing with the hands, for example, or just one, like what do you expect? And it could be even that, like what do you expect, like something of the head and the shoulder, like everything reacting a little bit, because reference is good and it's reference. From there we build on top of what we're doing. Like animation is not just copying a reference, but it's also thinking, okay, what can I add that will make this animation read and uh, transmit what I want a little bit better. Sorry about my English today. It's broken apparently. So does that make sense? Do you have any questions? Also, what school do you go to? Do you go to anim school? Yeah, no problem. Cool. Where are you from? I know that sounds like a weird question. Ah, see, I thought you spoke Spanish. Your name was. I'm from Argentina. That's why I'm saying. Like, it's like I'm pretty sure he speaks Spanish. Cool. So let me go back to just my face for now until I find where my files are. So Pratham had a question here. How do you get back into wanting to animate again after taking a few days off from animating? Ha, the story of my life. Um, so that's a very good question, and I don't know if I have the answer for you, to be honest. I think it all depends on why are you animating. Um, so basically, are you animating because you have school and you have to do it for school? Because then how do you get back to animating? Easy. If you don't animate now, you're gonna have to do it all on Sunday, and that's literally impossible, and you're gonna be super stressed. Just do it. Like, it's better to do it now than not do it later. If you're struggling to get back to animating after taking a few days off and it's a personal shot and you're just procrastinating, it's like it depends. Like, are you not animating because you're not into the shot that you're making? Is it that maybe it's not really a shot that you're interested in doing? Maybe it's not fun enough to do, entertaining enough to do. If it's a personal shot, you could just be like, maybe you need a better idea that suits you better. If it's that you're procrastinating because of fear of failure, welcome to the club. I don't know the solution. I think the solution is to just open Maya and hope for the best. Also, having like talking with friends about it. Like, for example, I think a lot of people at AM have a Discord. I think you are in one of the Discords. You could be like, hey, let's all join the Discord voice chat, I don't know, at 1 p.m. and let's all work through it. And every hour, everyone shows their links, or every 2 hours, everyone shows their sync sketch links. So you have no choice but to do it. I think, again, getting back to animating after a few days off of not animating depends on how you hack your brain and how your brain works. For example, for me, my brain works with fear in the sense of if I have a deadline, I will do it. If I don't have a deadline and I'm not needing to do it, I might get lazy and I'm like, I don't want to do it. But not because I don't like animating, just because I also like doing other things. Like, animation is part of my life, it's not just my life. Um, but there's other people whose brains work by just like being, what's the word, um extroverts and talking with people. And so if you're more like that, that could be an option, just telling people like, hey, let's all get together and do animations. And maybe if it's a personal shot, maybe the way to get back into animating is just doing something very, very short, something that you can do in a day, like, or an animation challenge, something that is making you have fun, like actually have fun with it. Um, yeah, that's good. What Mitch is saying is also good. Also, it depends. If you're in class right now and your problem is that you took some days off and you need to animate and you're already halfway through a shot, like Mitch is saying, a checklist is really good. But not just a checklist. Like, basically, when I was at AM, I would take 1 day off. Usually it was Mondays. And then on Tuesday, what I would do is basically I would first watch my critique from my mentor, write down all the notes, and then I would play blast again. Why? Because a fresh play blast always feels better, even though it's the same thing you've already submitted. And I would watch it myself and add in any other things that I would see. And then all you have to do is look at all the notes and see, okay, what's my mental state right now? Am I ready to tackle big things or small things? Big things are better to tackle straight away for the obvious reason of they might change other things in your shot. So it's like, okay, let's do one big thing now, and you tackle that. And like Mitch is saying, the um, like you're like the accomplishing something significant, blah blah. Also, the sense of accomplishment that you already did something and you can cross it out of that list, especially if you did it like you actually wrote it manually, it's really nice. So that helps a lot. I think for animation, something that we need to train our brains for is that you need to animate even if you don't want to, and you have to do it because when you're at a job, you just have to animate. So what you can do as well is give yourself a day, like as if you had a job, and your job is to animate. And so you wake up, blah blah. Let's say the usual day for an animator is from 9 to 6. You start at 9, you finish at 6. You have your lunch break, and you treat it as a job, and you start training your brain as if this were your job. Because sometimes, honestly, I'm at work and sometimes I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this shot. I don't want to do something else, or I don't want to shoot ref. Because maybe that day I'm not feeling the reference and I want to do something else. Well, I have to do it anyway because that's my job. So you need to just do it. I know it's not like a super cool answer, and there's like a lot of things and paths that I took to reply this, but you have some options. So yeah, yeah, just do it. Honestly, yeah. Let me just read here. Yeah, honestly, if it's just school right now and you took some time off and you have to get back to it, um, make sure that also it's not that you're burnt out, because that can also happen. If you're still not burnt out, then treat it as a job for now. Do it like job hours, work hours, lunch break. Have your friends on a voice chat, whatever it is that works for you. Personally, for me it didn't work. I can't animate and have someone talk with me. What I like to do, something that helps me when I'm animating, if I'm blocking, I will put on Disney instrumental music. If I am splining slash polishing, I will either put a movie, like animated movie in the background. Like I have two monitors. I used to have three, but I have, let's say I have two. On this side, this thin, like this side of the screen, like this thin, I will put an animated movie and I will have my playlist of movies. And that would actually motivate me to work because I would see really cool things that they were doing in those movies. But also, I would know those movies by heart already, that I didn't really need to watch them. They were just there. If I needed that slight distraction, I would just look at it, be like, ah, haha, that was cool, and then keep working. So you need to just think about ways to hack your brain. Um, let me go back because there's like a lot of things. I hope that answered your question somehow. I hope you find the energy. I'm kind of in that same moment, but mainly because after work I'm so tired that I know I should be animating, but also, you know what they say, that you can't create the illusion of life if you don't have a life, basically, so if you don't live life. So I'm kind of living life now. Okay, so someone here, I have a question in my mind that if I don't have a degree of animation or art degree, so is there. Oh, okay. If you're gonna have a problem getting a job abroad, it depends on the country. So I I had I'm here in the UK on a visa. They didn't ask me for a degree at all. For Australia, they didn't ask me for a degree. For Canada, I think it helps. Like it gives you extra points, but I don't think it's 100% necessary because one of my best friends, he is an amazing animator and he didn't go to uni to study animation. I didn't study animation at uni. I studied something different. I do have a degree, but it's not in animation. So, uh, depends also where are you from? What's your country? Because depending on the country, the rules change. So depends. I don't want to promise you, oh yes, it's gonna be super easy. It's not easy getting a job abroad. That's for sure. That like I'm the one who will never say that it's easy because it's always a pain to deal with visas. I should know. uh, but it get having a degree is not 100% necessary. So don't worry. What's 100% necessary is to have the skills. So whether you studied at AM, Anim School, I Animate, Anim Squad, Anim Collaborative, whichever it is that doesn't give you a degree, shouldn't matter. I think Anim School is accredited though, so I think Anim School is valid for Canada. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah. So I hope that answered your question. If you have more questions or anything about visas, let me know. I'm going through one right now. I've already done two in the UK and one in New Zealand, and I did also one for Canada when I was going to study there, but I ended up not going. So I'm kind of familiar with the process. Um, okay. Oh, that's so cool that you can speak three languages simultaneously. Yeah, no problem. Where are you from, if you don't mind me asking? And in the meantime, let me read everything else here. So, does anyone know the solution when creating polygon primitives in the Leo rig? Files not visible. Uh, I'm not sure. You would need to check with Dan, to be honest. I've used the rig. I'm part of the team that made the rig, but I'm not even sure what it means in terms of creating polygon primitives in the Leo rig file. Like what for? As if like if you wanted to make mods for it, like clothes or props. What is it that you're trying to do? Because I'm not sure I understand the question. But why would you want to do that in the rig file? Because usually you never do that on a rig file, you do it outside. Or is it that you're referencing the rig and you're trying to create a polygon in a file where the rig is referenced? Because I think I remember seeing this question before that someone asked it. It might have been you, and I have no idea what it actually means. Like, basically, if you are trying to create whatever inside the rig file, I would not recommend that just because usually we try to keep rigs separate from any props or anything else. That's usually how the industry works because it's cleaner. And then if you need to update the rig, you can just update it and you're not losing anything. But I'm not sure if that's what you mean or something else. Again, I don't know even what Dan did in the last stream because it's way too late for me. But in the meantime, while you're replying, Shiri was asking, how do you cope with burnouts? How frequently do you get um, to that? Oof, burnouts are hard. I burnt out really hard out after AM. I think the best thing to cope with burnouts is taking a break. And I don't know why students have such a hard time with taking breaks, especially students who are at online schools. They feel like it's a race and they need to do it and they need to keep going and they can't take a break. It's not healthy. It's not healthy for anyone, especially because they are very intensive courses. And if you don't take a break, you burn out because your brain just can't handle it. So the best thing that you can do is take a break. Like even if it's just one day a week that you take for yourself and you just don't even open Maya. You don't do anything. If you're barely sleeping every day, maybe stop working at, I don't know, midnight and try to get at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep. Even if you think you don't have the time and you need it because you have to finish a shot, you're gonna work way better if you're rested than if you're trying to keep going at 3 a.m. and making mistakes because your brain is tired and dead. I personally am a very big fan of taking a break between classes, or if it's you've already graduated and you're in between jobs, holidays are a good thing. Holidays are nice, 'cause especially in this industry, if you're in a project where you have to work very long hours, whether it's because of crunch time or because that's in your contract, taking holidays is good. And I would recommend at least 2 weeks, because 1 week is nice, but it's not enough to like get your body back to and your brain back to what it should be. Um, so take breaks. That's the best thing. Also, have other activities aside of animation. Exercise, stretch. Like, do 30 minutes of stretching will already help you so much more. Meditate. I know it sounds so dumb and silly, but 10 minutes of meditation helped me a lot when I was struggling. Let me find the one that I use. I don't get commissions or anything for recommending this, but I used to use Headspace. I didn't pay for it, I just used the free ones. Feel free to check that out. I don't know if it's still they used to have like 10 free days that you could do. I used to do that and then I would look for other apps. Those really help. And once you like every day is basically the same type of meditation. Once you understand how it works, you can just use those things for yourself. Like sometimes when I'm too anxious or anything, I just use a method where you breathe in and breathe out, and every time that you breathe in you count, and every time that you breathe out you count, and you count from 1 to 10 and then again 1 to 10. Which sounds easy, but it's really hard because you get distracted and you need to get back to it. So meditating is good. Stretching is also good. I can send you guys the video that I use. It's literally 30 minutes. So basically, you can take out 40 minutes of your day to meditate and stretch, and that will help your brain. It won't cure up your breakdown because for that you need to actually relax, but it's something. Let me find it. Um, what's the name of this video? Also, it's stretching for beginners because I have the flexibility of a pile of wood. Like, I'm I'm not very flexible. Yeah, totally. Honestly, meditation is. I should keep doing it again. Like, um, I'm basically uh preaching but not actually doing the thing. But when I meditate, when I'm actually doing the healthy things, it's so much better. Also, eat healthy. It it also helps with all of this feeling, because if your body feels good, everything will feel good. But mainly, get a good night's sleep, exercise if you can, and take a break. If you've watched Hamilton, you know that bad things happen when people don't take breaks. So I would say take a break. Um, Anush, if you want to give me more details about the what you were dealing with, let me know. If not, if Dan wasn't able to make it work, he might need to talk with the rigger about it. I'm not really sure. Like, I'm technical, but I'm not that technical. I'm like, I used to be more technical, but then I got lazy. Because I was like, nah, that's problem for other people, not me. Also, where are my things? I'm trying to find my animation files and I can't find it. Yeah, before I used to be so much more into doing the things, but then I thought, nah, I like specializing. I don't want to be a generalist. Like, it's good to know things, but huh. So I can't find my files because I wanted to animate something in the meantime. Because we've only been here for 1 hour and it doesn't seem like anyone will have anything else. So I might just animate if I can find the files. But I don't know if I do have them still. We'll see. Okay, let me actually try and recreate what you're saying because I don't think we're saying the same thing and I might not be understanding. So let me just basically. So, first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to reference in Leo because then I might understand what's the problem. And let me just find him in my folders, which I don't remember where they are because Maya decided to remove all of my shortcuts, which is really frustrating. Where is it? Okay. Leo and Leo final. Okay. I think I'm gonna probably animate next time because I've just remembered I don't have Animbot. I need to repurchase it. And yeah. So curves, polygons. So you basically want to create a like a plane, a cube. Okay. Because I'm very like this should work. I don't know. I it works for me. Is it that you were trying to create it in the Leo file, which I do not recommend at all? Like opening this? Because this shouldn't be, unless you're trying to make clothes, I wouldn't do it. Cool, I'm gonna open it now. Let me just check. But create cube. Oh, okay, it's inside here. It's the files are inside the computer. Okay, I understand it if you're trying to make mods like clothes. If you are not trying to make clothes for Leo, and if you're trying to make props, do it outside of Leo. If you're trying to make clothes, um, yeah, I think Daniel has to figure out why it's not working. It's very weird. That let me see if I can find the reason. Because it's there, it's just not showing. Because I can see it. Like it exists. But it's not there. Will I be able to? Because if it's created. No, it's not a material thing because it's just not there. Maybe it's this? You have an empty result since history, son? What does that mean? Do you guys have TikTok? Because, like, right now, my brain is singing Miley Cyrus, singing What Does It Mean? Um, I'm gonna, because I don't know what it is, and I'm not that technical. I'm gonna check with Dan and send him that and see if he understands that, because he was able to create uh, clothes for Leo and it worked. So I'm wondering what was it that changed, because I'm pretty sure it was working. So I would check with him. So are these two the ones that you've rendered now? I want to see. That looks so cute. I'll keep you updated because I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna leave so that I can watch this. Cool. That looks so cute. I love how did you render them? That's so cute. It looks so pretty. Are these your shots from class 3? That's very cute. This is really cute. Did you do it with Blender? Wow. That's really nice. That's awesome. That's really cool. I really like it. I wish I were good at lighting, but again, it's like when I studied all of this kind of like a generalist way, I already knew what I didn't like. Like I don't like cameras, I don't like lighting. um this is really pretty. I love it. Like the textures and everything looks really pretty. This one too. It looks really beautiful. It's like soft and nice shadows. Very nice. It's really cool. Hey, I've been doing well. Oh, cool. That's why, like, you already, like, makes sense. You're a pro at this. For me, I think it would take me so long to uh, do anything. That's the thing. I'd be like, it's too much work. Yeah, it looks really cool. Thinking. Let me see if I can find my files. Maybe, yeah, I can just animate, even though I don't have Animbot. Like, Animbot makes me happy because everything is so much faster. But it's okay, we don't need it. We can animate without it. So I've been okay. How have you been? How's it been? It's been long. I haven't done these streams in like 2 months. In the middle, I traveled to Argentina, so that was also very hard. Because like streaming from there would have been really impossible. Um, Oh, I was trying to find why I can't find the file. Now I remember. So let me just go back to this. Does anyone have any other links or anything that they want me to look at? I think I may have moved things and I've lost everything. Why did I do this? Oh well, I guess I won't be able to continue that shot, which sucks. I need to find new audios. I have a bunch that I might choose one maybe to animate with Leo. We'll see. But yeah, if not, I might end the stream here if no one has any other questions or things they want me to look at. Just because I wanted to animate on that, and now that I don't have it, I'm a bit worried that I've lost a lot of files. So I just need to go and double check why my files are missing, because that's very concerning. Yeah, I don't think it was Maya, cause I can see the project file, like the file, the folder, but it's empty. And it shouldn't be empty. I'm a little bit worried now because it shouldn't be empty. And it's like, where did I move it to? Yeah, yeah. Thanks for saying that they are words of wisdom. I try. Um, I try to say something that at least makes a lot some sense. And my English is dead today. But yeah, I think I might go and try to fix this because I'm worried now that I'm losing files. I'm hoping I don't have a virus or something. This is very weird. Stupid files, where are you? Oh, well. Oh, cool. You have something to show. Let me share. Cool.
I'm sort of a Russian, German, Croatian, French agent.
Oh, I remember this audio.
I'm trying to leave my secret agent life behind.
That's immediate.
I'm sort of a.
Are you doing this in a class? Because this does sound like I feel like they are very kyosho.
I'm sort of a Russian, German, Croatian, French agent.
So it's cool. Yeah, I thought so. They like the notes felt very, very Kyosho in a good way. Cool. Since you have notes, I don't want to like mess up with what you've already been given. But feel free to come and ask for more feedback if you want after you apply the notes. Yeah, it sounds cool.
Uh,
Who's your mentor? Is it Sean? Yeah, sounds good. Nice. Yeah, I thought so because the style of notes feel very him. Like the way that he draws in the shapes and everything, that's really cool. I love it. Oh, nice. Cool. Well, good luck. That's really cool. I love these notes. Like, look at this. It's like, whoosh. That's so cool. I love it. So pushed. I kind of had signed up for his classes, but then I I had signed up, but then I got a job, like my first job, and so I was like, I can't do a shot while having my first job because I will die. And so I just went to his classes and just listened and looked at feedback, which I still learned a lot from it. And that's where I learned basically how to animate eyebrows with him. So I didn't really go through it, but I was in the classes. So I still saw it. And I also saw the feedback that Daniel got and Madison and Kenny, and they all came out with amazing shots. But yeah, I'm gonna um go and find my files. I'm very upset now. Where are they? But yeah, thanks everyone for coming. We're back. I see that there's a lot of people today, which is like, oh, you guys, thank you for joining. You guys are amazing. If I can find the files, I'll start animating next week. I'll get my animbot set up and hopefully we'll. Yeah, they should, because it's very weird. And they are also going up north, which is weird because usually the bad things are down south. So I don't know what's happening with the clubs. But yeah, thanks everyone. Have a great week. If you guys need anything, drop it in the Discord. Also, let me just copy the Discord links and everything just in case anyone is new and they don't have them. I'm not sure if the invite is still working, so we just grab a new one. And also follow Wonderwell because we're making a new rig and it's already looking really cool. Um, so it's gonna be really awesome. Hopefully, I already have things that I want to fix from Leo because there's more always to do. So my time here is 8:20 p.m. So it's not too bad. I mean, a good rig. I don't know if it's gonna be like the best rig in the world, just because I don't want to pretend like other people can't make good rigs. Will it be one of the most awesomes that um, we've seen? At least I have seen. Yeah, because it's looking really cool. I'm very excited. So, oh my god, it's almost 2 a.m. there. Go to sleep. Yes, good night. Go to sleep. No, you're crazy. Now it's 8:20. I'm probably going to just maybe read or chill after I find my files. So yeah, thank you for joining me in my quest to find something to do and failing at it. I hope that you guys have a great rest of the week. Remember to sleep, stretch, drink water, eat, and relax. Work hard, but relax. Okay, have a good one. Bye bye.